There's this one scene I keep going back to, not because of the acting, not even the story, but because nothing was said in that moment, and that silence, it broke me. No dialogue, no background music, just silence. And somehow, that silence says everything. What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools in cinema is silence? Let's talk about why silence in films hits harder than sound. Let's start with Bollywood. Shujit Sarkar's film October. Those long, uncomfortable hospital scenes, no violence, just the beep of machines, slow footsteps, and awkward silences. And yet, it says everything about Dan's confusion, care, and the fragility of life. That stillness, it makes you sit with your thoughts. And of course, the lunchbox. That beautiful lonely scene where Illa reads Sergeant's letter. No background score, just the sound of her spoon hitting the plate. It's so personal. जैसे आप उसके साथ वही चुप्पी महसूस कर रहे हो. अब आते हैं असली बात पे. Why does silence work? क्यों इतने डायरेक्टर्स इसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं? Because silence is honest. In real life, the biggest emotional moments don't come with music. When someone leaves, when your heart breaks, or when you're just lying awake at 3 a.m., there is no soundtrack, just you and your thoughts. And films that reflect that feel more real, more human. There's also science behind it. Our brain is wired to notice changes in sound. So when a movie suddenly cuts to silence, your senses heighten. Even a whisper feels loud. Even a breath feels heavy. You lean in, you listen deeper. That's why horror movies use silence right before a jump scare, because silence builds tension more than sound ever can. And now, Hollywood. In No Country for Old Men, there's no background score. None. And that's what makes it insanely tense. You're always alert, always anxious, because nothing is telling you what to feel. फिल्म आपको अकेला छोड़ देती है, और यही डरावना है. And then there's A Quiet Place, a film where silence isn't just style, it's survival. The creatures hunt by sound, so every step, every breath has to be careful. One wrong noise and it's over. Yeah, there's background music, but it's subtle, used only when it really matters. No constant score, barely any dialogue. Most of the time, it's just raw, tense silence. Krasinski doesn't use it as a pause. He uses it to pull you in, make you feel the danger. And when a sound finally breaks through, it doesn't just add drama, it shocks you. And here's an underrated fact. In classic silent films, they used silence not just by default, but intentionally. They choreographed pauses, looks, breaths to make you feel emotions without a single word. Actors like Charlie Chaplin used silence as expression, not absence. Modern directors are doing the same thing, but in their own language. But you know where silence truly messes with your head? Horror, because silence in horror isn't calm. It's a warning. It tells you something is coming, without telling you what. Let's take two films that use silence so effectively, it becomes the real villain. Ram Gopal Verma ki Bhoot, yes, that early 2000s classic with Urmila Matondkar. And even today, it holds up. And Robert Eggers' The Witch. In Bhoot, there's this one scene where Urmila walks around the apartment late at night. No music, no dialogue, just the creaking of the floor, the faint city sounds outside, and her slow, confused breathing. The silence doesn't comfort you, it traps you. It makes the apartment feel like a character, like something is watching her and us. Now, The Witch, a film set in 1600s New England where the silence of the woods, the isolation becomes unbearable. There's a scene where the family stares into the trees, no score, no whispers, just the crack of branches and the sheer unknown. In both films, silence isn't just a gap in sound, it's the tension itself. That pause, it's where your brain starts filling in the blanks, and that's the scariest part. So yeah, two completely different cultures, two different worlds, but silence, same language, same impact. So yeah, silence isn't just empty, it's loaded with fear, love, grief, hope. It gives you space to feel. It doesn't manipulate your emotion, it respects it. And the best part, silence makes a scene linger. Even after the movie ends, the quiet ones stay with you. So next time you're watching a film, don't just wait for the climax or a powerful line. Listen to the silence, क्योंकि वहीं पे असली कहानी छुपी होती है. If this reminded you of any silent scene that gave you goosebumps, and if you're into cinema beyond the obvious, hit that subscribe button.